Hello everyone, my name is Jesus and welcome back to the channel. I want to talk today about the early 2000s pranksters on YouTube. I want to talk about them because I remember watching them back in the early 2000s and that how they would make pranks that people would follow and people would like their channel, people would get good laughs out of it, and then their channels progress from innocent pranks to more serious pranks. And I've been thinking lately that they remind me of modern day political podcasters and YouTubers. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But before I do, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out. Now let's get back to the topic. As I was telling you, I remember back in the early 2000s, YouTube pranksters would start with innocent pranks and they would get a lot of followers. They would build a great channel which gave them a source of income. But as people saw that people were successful as pranksters, more and more people try to be YouTube pranksters. And then those pranks that they were using before weren't garnering as many views as they initially had. So they went on to more outrageous pranks, and they just kept escalating. That's the way that they could attract an audience. And I remember it went into pranks where we would see videos where people would be in the city. You would see them in their nice suits. You could tell they was during work hours. They could be in the middle of work, or maybe they could be going to a job interview. And all of a sudden, these people were on the phone, or they were just walking, and a YouTube prankster would throw either a pie on their face, or it would throw a bucket of paint, and it would ruin their clothes. It would ruin their day. How would they go back to work dressed like that? And the YouTube prankster would just run around laughing, and they would get chased by the victim of the prank, and people would give likes to those videos. And then more and more people began making videos like that, to where they were making more dangerous pranks. And I recall seeing some pranks where they would even drop balloons from the top of multiple story buildings onto people down below, and they would drop those water balloons on them. And people said that was dangerous, so they should not be doing that, but they still kept doing it. And I remember those type of pranks, and people were not happy about those YouTube pranksters, but they kept doing more and more outrageous pranks because they knew people were gonna watch the videos, which would get them more money. And I say that they remind me of current political podcasters and YouTubers, because it seems that if you look at their channels, they really embellish a lot on subjects, and they like to scapegoat people. They don't care what damage they do to people. They just want to garner views, and they know that selling outrage gets them more views, which means more money. And that's why they remind me of the early 2000s pranksters, because both the pranksters from the early 2000s and the current political podcasters and YouTubers, I'm not going to say all of them, but many of them, in my opinion, they just seem to, whenever they make videos, sometimes they do little kernels of truth, and the rest of the story is just embellishment, and it's just a way to get people agitated or get people to get mad and watch their videos. And it's the same way as the pranksters, who would try to elicit people to look at their channels by just doing more and more outrageous videos. And I can't help but see the similarities, and I've been thinking about this for quite a while, and I want to know what you think about it. Do you also see similarities between those early 2000s pranksters and the current political podcasters and YouTubers? I'd love to hear your opinion about it, and please give the video a like and share it. It would really help me out. And until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day.